Okay, this is an exciting video. Wow, I've never been so excited. Well, actually, I've been excited this much a lot of times. But the title is How I Almost Won an Academy Award for My 3-minute sword fight on screen with John Holmes, also known as Johnny Wad, a famous adult movie star who died in 1988. He died in 1988 of AIDS. He was the first big time celebrity to die of AIDS. You remember that period. Everybody was dying of AIDS. Not me. I'm still here 50 years later. But anyway, here's my story. Oh, and by the way, why am I making this video? Because last night somebody said, hey, you got to watch this movie about your old friend John Holmes, the adult movie star. And I said, well, why? Why should I watch it? He said, it's a crime movie. It's called Wonderland, and it was made in, well, I don't know, not so long ago, Wonderland. And it's about a famous Hollywood murder. And so I saw this movie, which doesn't star John Holmes. It was made much after his death. And this reminded me of my 3-minute sword fight with good old John Holmes. And uh, and so I'm going to tell you how it happened. Okay, as I said, it was 1973, more or less, 50 years ago. And I was a regular in California as an extra in many movies with it was called Brebner Casting in those days. I have no idea if they're still around. But lately, or I should say at that time, I was desolate. I was so sad. I was sad because I hadn't been chosen to be in the famous, or later famous, wedding scene of The Godfather. Oh, I was so unhappy that Brebner said, hey, you're not a mafia get a big cheese, so you can't be in it. Well, Brebner decided to make it up to me. Well, sort of. The call had just gone out to everybody in Hollywood in those days. We need the best swordsman in the state who needs to instruct legendary prawn star John Holmes in how to be a super sword fighter, and we're going to pay $500 if you can, in 2 days, teach John how to be a great sword fighter. And so I went in for my interview, and I did a little flashy stuff with sabers and epées and stuff like that. And Brebner said, hey, you're the man for the job. And I said, well, I've never won an Academy Award, and I'm not I'd love to win an Academy Award for even Best Supporting Actor. So I want to be in the sword fight with John Holmes. Can you do that? And they thought about it a while. Yeah, we're gonna make you a star, and if you're really good at this business, you can forget about being an extra. We're gonna give you big scenes with lines to speak, and you're gonna be a big shot in Hollywood. You can have one of those Hollywood mansions and go to Cannes Film Festival and stuff like that. What an offer. Well, when you see this clip that we're going to show you today, you'll know why I never made it big in the movies, because almost everybody agrees that when you make a list of actors from 1 to 100 and give them all a score, I'm probably, well, maybe not number one at the bottom, but pretty close. But, if you ever want to see me in movies, in crowd scenes, I was in THX 38. That was Francis Ford Coppola's first movie. I was in one called Mickey 1, I was in a really famous one called Brazil. Unfortunately, it was always in the crowd scenes. But you're going to have such a treat today. Oh my God. What a treat you're going to have. You're going to see me in a starring role. Well, it was only 3 minutes, but a starring role, and it's coming up now. And here we go. Oh boy, what a thrill.
Is that you, noble Casanova?
Yes, Your Excellency. So kind of you to be here on time.
I could hardly wait for your arrival, Casanova.
I cannot thank you enough for allowing me the opportunity to clean my sword's rust on such a noble body.
Or more likely, you will be the 100th to perish by my sword.
Are you planning on making this a duel of words, Your Excellency?
No, you're quite right. We have spoken enough, Casanova. En garde!
I'm sorry, Colonel, for what I must do.
What in hell are you talking about, Casanova?
I'm afraid, Colonel, I have a pressing engagement, and I must end this affair soon.
Lady Angie will wait an eternity for you, Casanova, because you are on your way to hell.
You are brave, Colonel, and an optimist. I'm sorry for what I must do now.
It appears you will be on time for your rendezvous with Lady Angie. Good luck, Casanova.
You were brave to the end, Colonel.